The desert wind howled across Exegol's shattered throne room. Rey knelt among the wreckage, clutching the ancient Jedi texts she'd saved from Ahch-To. Her hands trembled as she traced the faded symbols. Forbidden knowledge, dangerous knowledge, a ritual that could bend time itself. She'd won the war. Palpatine was dead, but the scars ran too deep. Billions lost, worlds burned. The galaxy would take generations to heal, unless she could stop it before it began. Rey closed her eyes. The Force surged through her, wild and uncontrolled. The texts warned of the cost, the danger, the madness of altering what had already been. She didn't care. If there was even a chance, a single chance to save them all, she had to take it. "I'm sorry, Ben," she whispered, "but I have to try." The ritual began. Blue light erupted around her, crackling with raw energy. The Force screamed in protest as reality itself started to tear. Rey felt her body pulled in 1,000 directions at once. Time unraveled. Stars blinked backward. Entire eras collapsed into moments. Then, silence. Rey's eyes snapped open. Sand. Endless sand stretching in every direction. Twin suns blazed overhead hotter, harsher than anything she remembered. Her lightsaber lay beside her, half buried. Her clothes were scorched, her body aching. She staggered to her feet, scanning the horizon. Tatooine. She knew this place, but something felt wrong. The Force felt different, younger, untainted by decades of war. In the distance, a moisture farm shimmered in the heat. Rey's breath caught. She reached out through the Force, searching, probing, and then she felt it, a presence, bright, powerful, untrained. Luke. But not the Luke she knew. Not the legend, not the master, not the broken hermit on Ahch-To. This was Luke Skywalker, before destiny found him. Before the droids. Before Obi-Wan. Before everything. Rey's heart pounded. The ritual had worked. She'd gone back too far, or maybe exactly far enough. She took a step toward the farm, then hesitated. What had she just done? What was she about to unleash? The twin suns beat down mercilessly as Rey made her choice. She started walking. The galaxy would never be the same. Luke Skywalker wiped the sweat from his forehead, glaring at the broken vaporator. Another day, another repair, another year trapped on this dust ball while the galaxy spun without him. "Luke," his aunt's voice carried across the homestead. "Finish up. Supper's ready." He sighed, grabbed his tools, and turned, then froze. A woman stood at the edge of the property. Dusty robes, determined eyes, and something else. Something that made his skin prickle with unfamiliar energy. "Can I help you?" Luke called out, cautious. Rey stepped forward, her heart hammering. He looked so young, so eager, so unbroken by loss. "My name is Rey. My speeder broke down a few miles out. I need water, shelter for the night." Luke studied her. "Desert survival rule number 1. You don't turn away stranded travelers. Come on, my aunt and uncle will want to meet you." Dinner was tense. Owen Lars didn't trust strangers. Beru was kind but watchful. Luke couldn't stop staring at Rey at the way she carried herself, like a coiled spring ready to explode. After the meal, Luke found her outside, watching the twin suns set. "You're not really stranded, are you?" he asked quietly. Rey turned, those eyes so full of questions, so desperate for more, just like hers had been on Jakku. "No," she admitted. "I came here for you, Luke." His breath caught. "How do you know my name?" Rey raised her hand. A stone lifted from the ground, hovering between them, spinning slowly in the air. Luke stumbled backward, eyes wide with shock and wonder. "Because you're special," Rey said, lowering the rock gently. "You have a power inside you, the Force, and you're meant for something greater than this farm." Luke's voice cracked. "That's impossible. I'm nobody, just a moisture farmer." "You're not nobody." Rey's voice hardened with conviction. "You're Luke Skywalker, son of Anakin Skywalker, and I'm here to train you." The name hit Luke like a thunderbolt. Anakin, his father. The Jedi Knight, his uncle, refused to discuss. "Teach me," Luke breathed. "Teach me everything." Rey nodded slowly, sealing both their fates. The training would begin at dawn. 3 months, that's all it took. In the scorching canyons beyond the Dune Sea, Luke Skywalker moved like water. His training saber hummed as he deflected blaster bolts blindfolded from 6 different angles. Each shot redirected with precision. No wasted movement, pure instinct. Rey watched from the ridge above, arms crossed. Pride and worry warred inside her. Luke was extraordinary. His raw potential exceeded even Anakin's legends. With her guidance techniques from the ancient texts, lessons from Leia, training methods the old Jedi never attempted, he was advancing at an impossible rate. "Too fast," a voice whispered in her mind. "You're pushing too hard." "Again," Rey called down. Luke didn't hesitate. He reached out through the Force, lifting 3 massive boulders simultaneously. He held them suspended, rotating in complex patterns, then launched them at distant targets with devastating accuracy. Each stone struck true. He pulled off the blindfold, grinning. "How was that?" "Better," Rey admitted, dropping down beside him. "But you're still telegraphing your intentions. Vader would read you in seconds." Luke's smile faded at the name. "Tell me about him again. About my father." Rey's jaw tightened. She'd told him enough to fuel his training that Anakin fell, became Darth Vader, served the Empire. But not everything, not the whole truth. "Focus on what you can control," she said, deflecting. "Your power grows every day, but power without discipline." She stopped mid-sentence. A chill ran down her spine. The Force trembled, like reality itself had stuttered. Luke felt it too. "What was that?" Rey's eyes widened. "We need to leave. Now." Across the galaxy, in the depths of an Imperial Star Destroyer, the Grand Inquisitor straightened suddenly. His yellow eyes narrowed. "There!" he hissed. "Do you feel it? Tatooine." In the meditation chamber of the Executor, Darth Vader's eyes snapped open behind his mask. The Force screamed with impossible power, a presence he'd never encountered. Strong, trained, and somehow familiar. His respirator hissed in the darkness. "Prepare my shuttle," Vader commanded. "Set course for Tatooine." Back in the canyon, Rey grabbed Luke's arm. "They're coming! I pushed you too hard, made you too bright in the Force. They've found us." Luke ignited his training saber, defiant. "Then let them come! I'm ready!" Rey's heart sank. "No, Luke, you're not." The Imperial shuttle touched down in Mos Eisley. Stormtroopers poured out, sealing off the spaceport. The Grand Inquisitor emerged last, his pale face twisted in anticipation. He'd hunted surviving Jedi for years. Most were pathetic, broken, hiding, weak. This one felt different. "Search every settlement," he commanded. "Someone here is hiding a Force sensitive. Find them." At the Lars Homestead, Owen stood on the threshold, blocking the doorway. 3 stormtroopers faced him, weapons ready. "I told you," Owen growled. "No one's here but family. We're moisture farmers. We don't know anything about Jedi." The lead trooper stepped forward. "We have reports of unusual activity in the canyons. Energy weapons. Witnesses describe a young man matching your nephew's description." Owen's blood ran cold. "Luke's out checking the South Vaporators, that's all." But Luke wasn't at the Vaporators. He was with Rey, 10 miles into the Jundland wastes, watching Imperial probe droids sweep the desert from their hiding spot in a cave. "This is my fault," Rey whispered, anguished. "I made you too visible. I should have been more careful." Luke's jaw set. "You gave me purpose, power, a chance to be more than a farmer. I'm not running." "You don't understand what you're up against," Rey's voice cracked. "The Inquisitors are trained Jedi hunters, and if Vader himself comes, then we fight him together." Rey grabbed his shoulders. "Luke, listen to me. Vader is more powerful than you can imagine. He's killed hundreds of Jedi, masters with decades of experience. You've had 3 months." Luke pulled away, anger flashing. Then why train me at all, if I'm just going to hide? Before Rey could answer, the cave entrance darkened. The Grand Inquisitor stood silhouetted against the twin suns, his double-bladed lightsaber ignited. "How touching," he sneered. "A Shifa and apprentice reunion. Tell me, girl, where did you learn the old ways? Who trained you?" His eyes narrowed. "And why do you feel so wrong in the Force? Like you don't belong in this timeline at all?" Rey's blood turned to ice. He knew. Luke stepped forward, hand on his lightsaber. "You're not taking her." The Inquisitor smiled. "Oh, I'm taking both of you. Lord Vader will be very interested in this anomaly." Behind him, 6 purge troopers raised their rifles. Rey ignited her lightsaber. "Luke, remember everything I taught you. Stay close. Trust the Force." The cave exploded into violence. The Executor descended through Tatooine's atmosphere like a falling moon. In the hangar, Darth Vader strode toward his shuttle, black cape sweeping behind him. The Grand Inquisitor knelt before him, wounded and humiliated. "They escaped, my lord. The girl fights with techniques I've never seen, and the boy, his raw power, is extraordinary." Vader's respirator hissed. "Where?" "The Northridge settlements, Lord Vader. They're cornered." Vader said nothing. He simply boarded his shuttle. Through the Force, he'd already located them, 2 flames burning bright against the desert darkness. One familiar somehow. One that felt like home. Rey dragged Luke behind a massive boulder as blaster fire tore apart the cliff face. Her lightsaber hummed, deflecting shots. Luke mirrored her movements, his defense improving with each passing second. "We can't keep this up!" Luke shouted over the chaos. "We don't have to." Rey pointed toward a canyon passage. "There! We can lose them in—" The Force screamed. Both of them froze. A presence approached, vast, dark, suffocating, like a black hole consuming all light. Luke's face went pale. "What? What is that?" Rey's hands trembled. He's here." Darth Vader emerged from the smoke, walking slowly, deliberately. Stormtroopers parted before him. His respirator was the only sound mechanical breathing that echoed off the canyon walls. He stopped 50 feet away, his masked gaze fixed on them. "Curious," Vader's voice rumbled. "A Jedi appears where no Jedi should exist, training a boy who feels." He paused. Familiar. Rey stepped in front of Luke protectively. "Stay back." Vader tilted his head slightly. "You will surrender, or die." "Never." Lightning fast, Vader raised his hand. Rey flew backward, slammed against the rock wall. Luke screamed, rushing forward, but Vader caught him in midair with the Force, lifting him effortlessly. "Such raw power," Vader observed, holding Luke suspended. Untrained, reckless, and yet. He pulled Luke closer, studying him through the mask. "Who are you, boy?" Luke struggled against the invisible grip. "I'm Luke Skywalker, son of Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi you murdered?" Vader's respirator stuttered. His grip faltered. Luke dropped to the ground, gasping. "Impossible," Vader whispered. "Padme died. The child died with her. Palpatine told me." Rey ignited her lightsaber, defiant despite her injuries. "He lied to you, Anakin. Your son lived, and I won't let you destroy him like you destroyed everything else." Vader's hand clenched into a fist. The rage that exploded from him shattered rocks, split the ground, sent shockwaves through the Force itself. "You will tell me everything." The detention cell hummed with energy shields. Rey sat against the wall, bruised and exhausted. Across from her, Luke paced like a caged animal. Through the Force, she felt Vader approaching a storm of confusion and rage. The door hissed open. Vader entered alone. "Speak," he commanded. "Tell me how you know of my son. Tell me what you are." Rey met his masked gaze. "I'm from the future. 30 years from now, I used a forbidden ritual to travel back through time." "Lies." "No." Rey stood, chains rattling. "I know everything, Vader. I know Palpatine manipulated you. I know Padme died believing you were lost. I know Luke grows up to become a great Jedi. And I know. She took a breath. In the end, you save him. You destroy the Emperor and return to the light. You die as Anakin Skywalker. The silence stretched for an eternity. Vader's respirator was the only sound. You expect me to believe, Vader said slowly, that I betray my master? That I turn? You don't betray him. You remember. You remember who you really are. Vader's fist slammed into the wall, denting the metal. Anakin Skywalker is dead. I killed him. No, Luke shouted from the corner. He's still in there. I can feel it. You're my father. You're more than this monster the Empire made you. Vader turned on Luke. You know nothing of what I've done, what I've become. Then prove it, Rey challenged. Prove you're nothing but a machine. Kill us. Kill your son. Fulfill your programming. Her eyes blazed. Or make a different choice. Right here. Right now. Vader stood frozen between them, a broken man encased in black armor, torn between darkness and an impossible second chance. Across the galaxy, in the Rebel Command Center, Mon Mothma studied the hologram with grave concern. Our agents confirm it. Vader himself went to Tatooine. And there are reports of Jedi. 2 of them. Bail Organa leaned forward. Obi-Wan? No. Younger. Unknown. But if Vader has captured Jedi survivors, we have to act. End quote. Admiral Akbar's voice was grim. You're suggesting a rescue operation? Against Vader? That's suicide. Mon Mothma's jaw set. We can't abandon them. Prepare a strike team. In the detention cell, Vader's hand hovered over his lightsaber. Decision time. Everything hinged on what happened next. Vader deactivated the energy shield. Come with me, my son. I will teach you the truth about the Force, about power, about your heritage. Rey lunged forward. Luke, no! This is exactly what he wants. He'll twist you, corrupt you. Enough. Vader's force push sent Rey sprawling. The boy decides his own path. Luke stood between them, torn. Everything Rey taught him said the dark side was seduction, manipulation, evil. But this was his father, the man he'd dreamed about his entire life. And Vader was offering something Rey never could answer about his family, his bloodline, his identity. Luke, please, Rey begged from the floor. I've seen how this ends. If you go with him now, before you're ready. How do you know I'm not ready? Luke's voice cracked with frustration. You've kept secrets from me. You won't tell me everything about the future, about what happens. Maybe I need to hear his side. There is no his side, Rey screamed. He's a Sith Lord. He murdered children. He destroyed everything your father was supposed to be. Vader's respirator quickened. I did what was necessary. For order, for peace. For Palpatine, Rey shot back. An explosion rocked the Star Destroyer. Alarms blared. Red emergency lights flooded the corridor. My lord, a comm officer's voice crackled. Rebel ships. They're attacking the hangar bay. Vader's head snapped toward the door. Impossible. How did they? Another explosion. Closer. The cell door blasted inward. Rebel commandos poured through the smoke, weapons raised. Get down, the lead soldier shouted. We're here to rescue. He stopped, seeing Vader. Oh no. Vader ignited his lightsaber. In the chaos blaster fire, screams. The clash of lightsabers, Rey grabbed Luke's arm. We have to go! Now! But Luke pulled away. No, not like this. He turned to Vader. I'll make you a deal, Father. Let Rey and these rebels go, and I'll stay. I'll listen to what you have to say. One day. That's all I ask. Vader stared at his son. At the rebels. At Rey's horrified face. Agreed, Vader said finally. But know this, Luke Skywalker, once you hear the truth, you can never unhear it. Your path will be forever changed. Luke nodded. I'm willing to take that risk. Rey's scream echoed through the Force. Luke, no! But the rebels were already dragging her away, and Vader's hand was on Luke's shoulder, and the door sealed shut between them. The timeline had just shattered completely. Rey ignited her lightsaber and cut through the fortress door. Behind her, the rebel team fanned out against their orders, but they'd followed anyway. She'd promised them Luke was worth saving. The throne room doors opened. Luke stood at the center, dressed in black, Vader beside him. But Luke's eyes still blue, still his held neither darkness nor light. Something else. Something new. "Rey," Luke said calmly, "you shouldn't have come. I'm taking you out of here." Rey stepped forward. "Whatever he told you." "He told me everything," Luke interrupted. "About Padme, about the Republic's corruption, about the Jedi's arrogance." He paused. "He also told me something you didn't, about what your time travel really did." Rey froze. "What are you talking about?" Vader's respirator hissed. "Show her." Luke raised his hand. The Force rippled, and suddenly Rey saw. Visions cascading through her mind, the timeline fracturing like broken glass, events spiraling out of control. The Death Star being built faster, Palpatine sensing the disturbance, accelerating his plans, and something worse, a tear in reality itself, spreading from Exegol like a cancer. "No," Rey whispered. "That's not possible." "You ripped a hole in time," Luke said quietly. "And through that hole, something's coming back. Something that was supposed to stay dead." The fortress trembled. Outside, the sky turned crimson. Through the Force, Rey felt it, a presence she'd felt before, on Exegol, when she'd defeated Palpatine. But this time, it was stronger. A hologram flickered to life. Emperor Palpatine's withered face grinned. "Ah, young Rey, the prodigal time traveler, did you truly believe you could change destiny without consequence?" His laughter echoed. "You've given me the greatest gift, time. Time to perfect my cloning. Time to build my final order. And best of all, you've delivered me Luke Skywalker years before he was ready to resist." Rey's blood turned to ice. "But that's not the worst part," Palpatine continued. "You see, when you tore through time, you didn't come back alone. You dragged something with you, a shadow, an echo of every dark possibility, every fallen timeline. It's been feeding on the chaos you created, growing, evolving." The hologram shifted. Rey saw herself, but wrong. Eyes burning yellow, face twisted with hate, a dark version corrupted by the very act of time travel. "Meet your true enemy," Palpatine whispered. "Yourself." The fortress exploded with dark-side energy. Luke grabbed Vader's arm. "Father, we have to work together, all of us, or everything, Empire, Rebellion, the entire galaxy, it all ends." Vader looked at Rey, at Luke, at the nightmare they'd accidentally unleashed. For the first time in decades, Anakin Skywalker spoke. "Then we fight, together." The final battle had begun, against an enemy none of them could have imagined. And the fate of all timelines hung in the balance.